Hey, Gearheads, Jeff with Gear Report. Jeff and Mitch. Jeff and Mitch. See, it's not fair for me to say Jeff with Gear Report when Mitch is here as well. And yeah, I don't want to speak for you, Mitch, but I would like to welcome everyone to This Week at Gear Report. So thank you for joining us. This is our weekly show where we talk about what's been published. Where's my hand? There we go. What's been published on Gear Report since our show last week, and stuff that's coming up soon that anyone from the Gear Report team wants to log in and talk about. So we got two of us here now. We may or may not get additional folks to show up and be part of the panel. We've also got a pretty lively chat going on out there on YouTube. So let's see. Oh, wow. I'm scrolling. G23, Gun Loving Grandpa. So good to see you guys there. Nighthog. Looks like the three of them are just chatting it up tonight. I call them Chatty Cathy's, but I don't know. Everyone's talking about Karen so much. Maybe I should call them Chatty Karens. I don't know. That seems to have a connotation that would not be considered nice. And they all seem to be nice guys, so I don't think I want to call them Chatty Karens.
Commenting Karens?
Commenting Karen? Well, it's the Karen reference that I'm not sure that I'm comfortable labeling the folks in the chat as Karens, you know? I don't know. I'm weird like that. And like a variety of other ways too, I think. So let's just kind of chat for a couple minutes and see if anyone else joins us. In the meantime, that'll give the folks out in the chat time to put some questions or comments in if they have anything that they want to talk about. So how's it going, Mitch?
Pretty good. Good week. Looking forward to the weekend.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I'm assuming that means you work regular weekday stuff.
Yeah, I work from home. I work from home now, but that's not an issue. But yeah, usually it's Monday through Friday. It's 8 to 5. It's pretty standard stuff, which I like.
Gotcha. All right. Looks like not referring to everyone as Karens was a good call, because I would never want to offend someone. All right, it goes against all my sensibilities.
Absolutely.
As far as you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
at Jeff, that's my wife's name. No wonder he doesn't want anybody to use it. I get it.
Yeah. All right. How do you know how I'm identifying tonight? I don't know. Telepathy-ish, I guess. All right, and Gun Snob's here as well. So, all right, good to see a lively chat out there. You know what I think I want to do first? Let me see if I can. I'm clicking on a different screen here. I want to get back to the Gear Report homepage, and then I'm going to share. So I'll click on my channel. And now back in StreamYard. See, I need a producer. I never understood what producers were for on radio shows. You know, when I was on the radio years ago, I did everything myself. I didn't get the assistance of a producer, so I didn't get it. But now I get it. You know, while I'm fumbling around to make the correct screen come up, you know, a producer could have been doing that in the background. Mitch, is that your keyboard, brother?
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Oh, all right. No worries. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about, I haven't had a chance. I have had a massive computer meltdown this week and haven't, I had some problems throughout the week with editing videos. And when I went to fix them this morning, I broke my main editing computer and it was just plain down for almost the entire day. So something that I really wanted to share as far as publish an article with kind of a container, you know, for this video. Oh, yeah, I wanted to actually show the video, not the back end stuff here. So let's come in here and find how we do that. View on YouTube. That's what I wanted. So I tried something a little bit different and new today. and reached out to a different content area. So we've always done camping, and for water sports stuff, we had kayaks. Actually, Gear Report is the second iteration of this enterprise. Does anyone remember? Does anyone know what the first name for Gear Report was before it became Gear Report? And I'm not seeing any comments here. I've mentioned it maybe once or twice. Really don't expect anyone here to get the right answer because it was very brief. And we had tens of views of the articles that I published under the name Jeff's Kayak Reviews. And I had a blast with that, like 11, 12 years ago or something. And then I had shoulder problems and said, you know what, I need to have something more generic than Jeff's Kayak Reviews. I want to be able to do all kind of gear. And, based on URL availability, ended up with Gear Report. So gear is purposely generic so that we can talk about whatever kind of stuff we want. And since I have been a little bit obsessed with figuring out how to make sailboats go faster, I have connected with Joe Bennett of TotalJoyrider.com, and Joyrider TV is his YouTube channel. He's like the international Hobie Cat and catamaran, speed sailing guru. So we had a good chat today for about an hour and a half, and he's actually in Greece. So that was kind of a neat use of technology to have this kind of international discussion and review the different places that he posts content and all his different videos and the resort that he works at and everything. So if you have even a passing interest in going fast, I mean, if you're like me, I'm like, what was the movie? Talladega Nights? Did you see Talladega Nights, Mitch?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he said, who wants to go fast? And he said, I want to go fast. Well, that's me. I want to go fast. So I've gotten into these fast sailboats, little sailboats, Hobie Cats and whatnot. And that's Joe's specialty. So he came on. We did a live broadcast today. It's available out in replay on YouTube, which is what's kind of on the screen right now. So you can go check that out if that has any interest for you. And I will get something published on Gear Report to talk about this interview, and then I'll embed the video there as well. I just haven't had a chance to do that. And frankly, it may be a couple days because I have some other things going on for the foreseeable future. But it's coming, and this video will be out there if anyone wants to go check it out. So let's see. I need to stop sharing that screen. Come back here. And we'll go to the Gear Report homepage. Chrome, Gear Report. There we go. Pull that out. All right. So since last week, on this week of Gear Report, let's see. Did we publish anything? Yes, I believe we did. We had the Boyd's Spike Camp stock review, and Toby kind of gave us a little preview of that, or maybe he talked about it. I don't remember. But that's a pretty cool, I know we've talked about it on a few shows, pretty cool $99 kind of entry-level price point at Boyd's Gun Stocks. And I think Toby, in his discussion talking about this, used the word amazing about 2011 times. Like I was thinking, we should make a drinking game where every time Toby says amazing, someone has to finish their drink, and we wouldn't make it through the end of his discussion here, I think. So if you have any interest in adding an aftermarket stock to any kind of long gun that you have, we've got a variety of different Boyd's Gun Stocks that a whole range of people at Gear Report have reviewed. So you can go check those out. And let's see, the other thing that we had, is it the Yeti Killer? I don't know. See, Mitch, did we talk about this last week? I feel like we did, but based on the date,
think it was brought up, but I don't think we went in. We didn't really talk about it.
Okay, so TJ said he submitted it and it was in the queue, I believe. So now you can see where the actual review has been published. And, everyone uses Yeti as kind of the benchmark for these roto-molded heavy-duty coolers. And TJ, because his brother runs a fishing charter boat, has been around these heavy-duty coolers for quite a while and seen the crap beat out of them. And he seems to be pretty impressed with the quality that Blue Coolers has brought with this at a price point that is quite a bit less than what Yeti is looking for. So, we've seen a variety of different coolers in the kind of chasing Yeti to see if they can make stuff as good, and some that seem to be as good, and I've actually got one, a kind of big one that's a little bit disappointing. Claimed to be as good as Yeti, didn't quite perform. A couple others that have really performed well. This looks like another one that gets pretty high marks.
Yeah.
So not that I don't trust TJ, but I am going to go personally inspect this cooler. I took some of the pictures you see here at TJ's place down in Florida. And I'm going to make an effort to get down there and inspect it and see how it's holding up. Just, this is my commitment to quality and to being sure everything published on Gear Report is up to standards. So I'm going to check behind TJ and make sure that this is really as good as he says it is.
Sounds like a fun trip.
Let's hope. Yeah. Usually around TJ, things you can't help but have fun. He is not afraid to get out and do stuff. Okay, so that kind of wraps up our things that have been posted, reviews that have been posted. So let me check through the comments here, see what else. Okay, so that's not good. G23, that's not how you're supposed to do that. All right. Let's see. I am curious here. Oh, no, did he answer? Make any sailboat go faster with a big marine engine. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of going with the wind power is more of a challenge that way, and I'm learning slowly. Let's see, the question, is that the Blue Igloo? I'm not sure that we're supposed to talk about any sort of igloos right now. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's pause before we get into the upcoming stuff, because there is a whole bunch of stuff upcoming that while I have been fighting computer issues this week, a bunch of Gear Report writers have submitted stuff that's in the pending status, which means they think they're done. They're ready for an editor to look over it and publish it. And I have been the bottleneck here and haven't got to them fighting these other issues. So, but during that time, I have been reading some things about igloos of the big variety. And I don't know, Mitch, how do you feel about discussing the big igloo? Seems to be taboo these days.
Are we talking about the cooler?
Are
we talking about the cooler?
No, well, I thought we were talking about the meme that has been going around. But I keep seeing stuff on news and in articles where people are taking all of this boogaloo, big igloo stuff dead seriously. Yeah. And terrified. And oh my God, these radical right groups. And I'm like, what? I wear a Hawaiian suit and body armor just because it's funny sometimes, making fun of the whole boogaloo meme.
Another distraction, another thing to talk about other than what's really going on. So
yeah. Oh, this is we gotta remember this. I was not aware this rule existed. If anyone shows up, and I don't want to discourage anyone from showing up now, but if anyone else shows up to be on the panel, then we got to put them down to buy dinner. Apparently, it's a rule.
It's a rule.
I don't make the rules here, apparently.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Anyhow, so what do you think? Is there any validity? Do you think there are any radical groups that fantasize about and I'm trying to remember how I read it, that they fantasize about instigating a new civil war here in the United States?
That's a loaded question. I mean, there are small groups of people, obviously within the United States, that want to have a say. They want to be loud. They want to be heard. But at the same time, they don't really have a plan. They just want chaos. They want distraction. They want things that are not conducive to change or progress for any reason or any way that it could be positive. So, like I said, it's just another meme. It's another story. It's another Twitter feed, Instagram photo, or whatever that people can talk about.
Yeah, it's been baffling to me because I feel like my understanding, from history classes and civics and whatnot, is that every American citizen has the responsibility, if your government gets completely out of control, to overthrow that government. And
Absolutely.
I guess part of what I'm hearing is, anyone who even mentions that is off the reservation crazy,
Yeah.
and just looking to go out and run around like a video game shooting stuff. And I'm like, wait, what?
Right. Well, the idea of branding people one way or another is easy to get them not to think about the things that are going on. Like the fact that the people, the United States, the citizens, it's our responsibility to do our due diligence, to vote, to voice our opinions, to collectively talk about these things. Because if we don't, the people who want to be in charge and have power will continue doing what they're doing, no matter
Yeah.
what level it is.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, I am not sure that I really wanted to completely derail the discussion to have that particular discussion as part of the show, but it's distressing to me because I've got some kind of not really close family members, but more distant family members who appear to be rather terrified of this boogaloo movement. They're wanting to burn down the whole country, and I'm like, what? No, boogaloo's like a bunch of hilarious memes, pretty much. But
Yeah, I don't get that either. I mean, there are a lot of groups that want to protect. In most cases, from what I've seen, they're protecting protesters
yeah,
from getting attacked or being able to just to go about their daily business. They haven't been causing attacks. They've been sort of standing in as, I don't know if I'd say self-proclaimed malicious, but just sort of, hey, we want to show you that we're here. We think there should be order. You should be safe. But it's hard to know because you don't know who these people are.
yeah, yep, I agree. All right, Mitch, is your camera within reach? Can you tip it down a little? Every time I put a comment up, it covers your face. It makes me feel like I'm talking to a midget. And
I'm not a midget, not yet.
not that I have anything against midgets, but it's just uncomfortable to. It's like,
No worries.
what was the show? Tim Allen had Tim the Toolman Taylor, and
Oh
his
yeah, yeah.
neighbor was always up behind the
Wilson.
fence like that. Yeah,
Wilson. Yep.
Wilson. Yep. All right. So yeah. All right. While we were chatting, I was pulling something else up. So let me get the screen changed over, and I'm going to give a peek behind the curtain because that's what you do when you have had computer problems and haven't been able to publish as much stuff as you would like. Is you just say, you know what? Let's look behind the curtain and see what's impending. So Grey Ghost Precision Glock 19 slide and barrel review from Caleb. And you know what? Do I want to? Yeah, let's go ahead and open it. It's always risky with drafts to open it and see what may or may not be in there. So yeah, let's see how this looks, if it's going to load for us. All right, it appears to be very slowly. Oh, well, he liked it. So for the folks out there, you get all right. And there's a whole bunch of no content in it. It's odd that's marked as pending because it looks like it didn't get all the pending stuff here. Let's narrow this down. There we go. So we got Mitch. We've got one of yours. Let me make sure I've got nothing but pending now because that was a rough draft. Alien Gear Grip Tuck Universal Holster. Anything you want to say about that real quick while we're here?
I liked it. I didn't, it didn't, blow my hair back or anything, but it was a nice, soft, durable, concealed carry inside the waist holster. It has adjustable clip on it, so you can
Yeah.
carry however you're comfortable with. I wore it every day for, I forget how many, couple of 3 weeks when I got it. I replaced my existing inside the waist holster so I could get, a feel for it. Like I said, it's comfortable to wear. It was easy to use, and it seems like it'll last a good long time. So, I thought it was pretty decent.
So predominantly you were like wearing it inside the waist. So
Yes.
the waistband is what gives you kind of compression on it to have a little bit of retention.
Yeah, it has a belt clip. Like I said, you just put the belt clip over your belt,
Uh-huh.
inside the waist there. And like I said, no complaints. It did its job.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to, it's probably going to be a day or three before I get to editing and posting that. But
No
so
worries.
another one here that, let's see, trailhead hammocks. So the camping side of the house has kind of fallen down a bit. They are not keeping up at all. So it's good to see something coming from Pickle on the camping side. And oh, I saw a comment pop up here. Clover Tack and Ghost Tactical, I don't know where they are. So yeah, maybe they'll show up at some point. Maybe they won't. This show is, like a lot of the shows that Clover and Ghost and some of their crew do. We have a long list of people with invitations, and it's one of those open. If you have something to talk about and it fits your schedule, come on. Otherwise, no big deal. So sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. This this review, another hammock from Trailheads. Apparently, Chris really liked it. 4.5 gears is about the highest we ever give. Um, and they did a live broadcast from the headquarters of Trailheads Hammocks. I think not yesterday, but the week prior, I think, or maybe it was the week before that. I don't know. But another one of the small cottage industry hammock manufacturers. I'm going to call them semi-custom because they can do custom and they do have some off-the-shelf stuff you can just buy, but they're also really open to if you have any tweaks you'd like to make, whether it's color or little design changes here or there, you get in touch with them and they're happy to work through little tweaks and really good ideas. I guess they turn into new products or modifications to their products. And they did something pretty cool here and customized and actually reached out to me and asked for a Gear Report patch, or two of them, because they made one of these for Mike and one for Pickle in the camping hammock show. And they got a Tar Heel State Hangers patch and Pickle Power for Chris, and then the Trailheads patch there. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. Jeff, did you watch last night's show? Unfortunately, no. I was able to catch the Thursday night shows when everything was kind of locked down here in North Carolina, but they do it at 7 on Thursday, and that's when the Sea Scouts meeting starts. I got 2 kids in Sea Scouts, and one of which just got elected. He's going to take over here at the end of the summer and be the senior youth leader for that unit. And so I get tied up for pretty much the entire duration of that show, and I have to watch it in replay, which I have not had a chance to do yet. Okay, so Ghost is stuck at work, and that kind of goes back to what I said earlier. We really expect people to make it if they can, and if they can't, then they can't. We understand. Watch the first first 10 minutes of it. I can read, I promise. All right. I think, why don't we just leave it as that level of teaser? I saw a picture online that I assume probably came from the show. It looked like some pretty dramatic things, exciting things, unexpected things happening at the beginning of that show, or at some point in that show. Apparently, it was in the first 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. If anyone wants to figure it out, you can go out to our YouTube, which if you're watching this, you're already on YouTube. You can catch it on YouTube. You can go to Gear Report and look under the live streams and see that there. So Pickle, the other thing he did, instead of a camping backpacking backpack, this is he calls it a commuter backpack from Buffalo Jackson, a real heavy duty, the thick, durable, kind of classy leather that I think he pretty much uses it for his corporate gig, or at least did when he was still going into the office. I'm not sure he's doing that much anymore, but carrying all of his kind of daily preppy corporate person goodies with him. So, yeah, but everything he said about it is he absolutely loves this Buffalo Jackson bag, even though we were both a little skeptical, like, is this going to be a little too frou-frou for someone who actually gets out in the woods and uses stuff? But yeah, apparently it's not. Apparently he kind of likes it. So we're going to have that one coming up pretty soon. Let's see. This Streamlight Strion Switchblade is kind of a neat light that I believe is kind of like the smaller version of, let's see, can I just make myself bigger for a second. This is the Streamlight Stinger Switchblade, weird looking light with a LED bar that folds up, and you light it. One push gives you one side, the other push brings you back. So that's the kind of more yellow, daylight looking light, where the first that came up was more of a blue or whiter light. Let's see, that yellow, and then the third one is the little what do they call that? The UV, the makes everything white glow. What is that called? Maybe it's UV. I don't remember. Anyhow, Strion Switchblade. That was the Stinger Switchblade. The Strion Switchblade appears to be a slightly smaller version of that. And AJ has been giving that a workout, actually doing work on multiple vehicles, it looks like. That does not look like a Humvee. That was probably his truck. And then I know he used it in the shop with some of his guns, and also out working on the Humvee as well. There's some Humvee stuff with the bubble rope winch line in there. So yeah, working on guns again. Smaller version of that light that I absolutely love. So I'm 4 out of 5 gears. That's a pretty good review there. So that should be out. I'm going to try to schedule these, so like one of these drops every day for the next several days. And then the DIY shooting table that we talked about, yes, black light or ultraviolet UV light. So yeah, thank you. I knew I was groping for the answer. I couldn't get it on the top of my head there. And Jose Juan talked about his shooting table that he's been working on. And the big holdup here is that, oh, look at that. So we've already got some review here. We use that light at work sometimes. Good light. All right. Yeah, the Switchblade I've used a lot and had pretty good luck with it, like really good luck with it. I like it. So Jose Juan and his table, we've already seen a lot of this in little preview stuff that we've looked at. And what I'm working on now, or was working on before the computer crashed, was figuring out how to share the actual detailed plans on Patreon, and that's I'm not really adept with that platform, so I'm gonna have to sort that out, and then we can get that posted. But since he's a structural designer and does CAD drawings, you know, for building structural stuff all the time, he just drew these up just like if he were giving them to a crew to go build them. You know, dimensions and assembly instructions and everything. So really intense, and I can't wait to get that up as soon as I can figure out how to make that happen. All right, and that's all of the stuff that we have in the pending queue for now. Let's see here. We'll go back to us for now, and stop the screen. And I got to tell a story here about something that came in that I was hoping to get out and review, and it didn't work the way I expected. And come to find out, it won't for a while. We've got more work to do. We put together, M+M Firearms sent, year and a half, 2 years ago, Romanian AK-47 kit. It's a side folder, and really nice looking kit. And we started to put it together. We ran into some issues, and basically had to send it for repair after we'd already, you know, Form 2'd it to be full auto. When we sent it off to be repaired, apparently there were issues with some of the full auto parts. It came back semi-auto, and it was kind of baffling. And I'm not going to call out the company that did it, because when I talked to them, they're like, yeah. Long story short, they thought they were doing us a favor when actually it turned out to not really be the favor I was hoping for. So that'll give you a little pause, I think. You know, when you get into class 3 post sample stuff, if you have any issues with it, don't take it. Don't send it to someone to fix. I mean, it's legally, you're absolutely able to do that. It's about the only way you can do it. But, you know, hand it to someone and stay there while they do the work to be sure they do what you want them to. That was, you've seen the Pass the Mag videos, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I went to film for one of those, and part of the big deal there was going to be, you know, popping a couple rounds off and then flipping the switch and running full auto. I was out of time, didn't get to test fire it beforehand. So like the very first time I fired this after coming back from the shop is on camera, and I barely had time. And it was actually getting ready to come to do this show last week, wasn't it? So everyone's already heard this story. Yeah, but it didn't work right. So, yep. Y'all got to cut me off when I start telling a story that I told last week, because
they may not have heard it. So
this Alzheimer's is new to me, and I haven't quite accepted that I have it. So I don't realize when I'm doing it sometimes. All right. So what else do we want to talk about? We've covered all that stuff right now. I want to build that table for my range at home. Well, Buck is in Patreon. He is one of the patrons, whatever we call them, for Gear Report. So as soon as I get those up there, you will have access to those, and hopefully I'll be able to get that done here soon. You know, knowing that you're eager to get that, it's going to push it up a little higher on my list. So, and I'll apologize to Jose Juan that it's taken me a while. I tend to be like that. When I have a priority list and one of them is something I don't know and I'm going to have to figure it out, that kind of gets bumped easier. But knowing that there's someone out there looking for it, I'm going to get that done a little bit quicker. So I'm going to be on the road some this week. So if anyone has any knows any gun brands that are kind of central or kind of mid East Coast area in Florida, let me know, because I'm going to be moving through that area here shortly. and looking for more brands to pop in and talk to. So we'll be kind of close to Keltec. So I'm gonna. That was actually on my list today that I didn't get to, was to reach out to them and several other brands. Hoping to get a hold of SCCY. Sky is down near there, and I'm drawing a blank. I'm going to have to figure out who the rest of those brands were. I had a list going on the computer right before it crashed, and I'm going to have to go recreate that now. So if anyone has any thoughts of Central Florida brands, gun brands, or any other kind of brand. I mean, we end up talking about gun stuff on here because that's the people who show up the most are the people in chat tend to be gun people, and the panelists tend to be gun people. But you know, we cover camping gear, we cover military vehicles, we cover sailing stuff. So any other brands of any type that are in that area, let me know, and I'll see if I can't get them to let me come in and at least talk to them or set up interviews. So what do you think, Mitch? Would you have any interest in participating in online interviews, whether they be recorded and produced or live stream stuff? Like
Sure.
if we got a brand.
Yeah, that would be fun. I mean, we could get some questions ahead of time, or some things that people want to hear about, and you get it lined, or we get it lined up, and then be able to sit down with them and kind of pick their brain and get them a chance to showcase what they have. And yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, so for the folks in the chat or anyone watching a replay, please feel free to leave a comment if you have any brands that that you think would be good to interview, any brands you'd like to hear about. And this is not a geographic thing. Before I was asking about Central Florida brands that I can go physically visit. Now we've transitioned to, hey, while we're at it, let's talk about brands anywhere. I don't care where they are. The interview today was with Joe in Greece. So as long as we've both got good internet on either ends, then we can set that up. That's right. Diamondback is down in that area. Yeah. And
Keltec,
I think
SCCY.
I think Kaylee is still running their marketing there. So I'll shoot her a note here. Probably over the weekend. So when she gets in on Monday, she'll have a note. See if I can't get by there sometime next week. I think that'd be a cool one. Yep. Good. So, all right. What else we want to talk about, folks? Any other brands you want to hear about? Any other topics you want to cover? We're 38 minutes in, and to be honest, I'm hoping for this to be one of our shorter shows, but this is a little shorter than I was generally pushing for here. So, but if there's nothing else to talk about, we'll go ahead and move on. So I'll leave that up to everyone here. Mitch, if you have anything, or anyone in comments has anything they want to talk about, then let's throw it out there.
We're going to do upcoming stuff. We have anything on the horizon that you know of?
Yeah, so the pending stuff is all like eminently upcoming. Beyond that, let me think about this. What in my queue, I've got a variety of things. One that I really need to sort out, and I just haven't had time to make it happen, is the Henry Big Boy all-weather rifle in 45 Colt or 45 Long Colt, depending on which terminology you like to use. And the hold up there, the rifle showed up, and I am struggling to find ammo. So ammo is out for just about everything, everywhere, it seems like. And the most common cartridges are being replenished with greater urgency. So the oddball stuff, the kind of old stuff like the 45 Colt seems to be, I'm having trouble finding it, so we can get out and do that review. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, because I haven't shot much lever gun And I'm not sure I've shot a Henry lever gun before, so that one I think will be really interesting as soon as I can sort that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Riley Defense, Andrew, what I feel like they've been brought up before, and I should remember what they're about. Yep, I'm going to have to go do some research on that. And you know what? While we're here, why don't we do that? Share the screen, and we will go to that one. All right. Oh, gotta spell it right, don't we? Riley Defense. AK-47s. Ooh, yeah, and since we're having issues with our AK-47, that could be really interesting. And they're in Charlotte, so that's not too terribly far. Yes, all right. Well, thank you for bringing that up. Maybe I can get a hold of them, and maybe they can help me sort out the issue with my not working right post sample AK-47. Oh yeah, they got a whole bunch of stuff. And you know what? Now I'm wondering if this is the company that that I talked to. Was it this year or last year at SHOT Show? This one is looking familiar to me. The tactical RAK-47. I bet if I go look through my pictures from Industry Day at the Range from SHOT Show, that I have got some pictures and video of me shooting some of their rifles. They look rather familiar. Or the other thing I'm thinking is maybe this is the brand. Actually, this is probably the brand that I talked to at the Iraq Veteran 8888 Range Day a year or three ago. Yes, actually, I'm positive it is. Yep, that's where I know them from. So yeah, I've already talked to them before, and probably I've got their contact information somewhere in my computer. So yeah, thanks for reminding me about them. I will definitely check them out and see if they can help out with that. Let's see. Preference for pistol, light, and laser combo. All right, I'm going to silence that phone, which is not good because that's my son that needs picked up. So, because he's getting off of work here shortly. I'm going to have to deal with that here in a minute. So I think since we're kind of out of things to talk about anyway, that we may just go ahead and shut this down. Before we do you have any thoughts on Olight or Streamlight?
Well, I was going to say I saw the comment from Nighthawk. We were contacted by Olight Gear Report, and I'm hoping that they're going to be sending me some products shortly for me to review. That's something I can ask them if they have. I think they're going to send some new products, but as soon as I get my hands on them, I'll start working on something for them. But it'd be nice to have that option. I like Streamlight. I've used Streamlight. Olight will be the first time I've had theirs in my hands, so I'll be interested to see how it compares.
Yeah, so we've worked with Streamlight for a few years and have a great relationship with them. And you know, I have Streamlight products all over the headquarters here, and we abuse them, and have always had. Trying to think if I've ever had one. Yes, I've had one that had a problem. This one, the Vulcan 180, I've never really been able to get it to work. It had something wrong with the charging system, and they were going to send me a new charger, and something happened. I think basically they said, yeah, never mind. Like I don't know. It was not a high enough priority to send a new charger. Like, yeah, don't worry about it. So it's still sitting here. It becomes a prop because I can't get it to work because the charger doesn't work. It's often sitting up here just because it's kind of bright and looks cool.
Yeah.
But I've probably had a dozen other Streamlight lights and loved every one of them. I've only had one. I've only had one Olight. And to be completely honest, Olight's one of those Chinese companies that throws money and products at a lot of online influencers
Uh,
who pimp their stuff mercilessly. And I mean, I like money, so come on, Olight, where's my money, right? No, they'll send products every now and then. Never ask them for money, actually, but because we don't really do things that way. But I wanted to hate the little light that they sent. It's a tiny little thing that's rechargeable, and it's got a little magnetic induction type current. Actually, it's probably like contacts, not induction, but for the charger, it's a little magnet in the back end of the light where it sucks up against the charger, and you don't actually physically plug something in. It makes that physical contact, and the magnet holds it in place while it's charging. And I wanted to hate it. I wanted it to suck because the company kind of ticked me off, but I freaking love that little light. It actually annoys me how much I like it because I'm not massively a fan of how they do some of their marketing.
yeah.
And I'm one of these, if there's an American company and a Chinese company, I'm more of a spend your money closer to home kind of guy.
Absolutely.
So I kind of wanted to dislike Olight, and it's like, crap, I really like this. So, but I don't use a laser pistol light. I've got a couple Streamlight pistol lights, and I don't know. So you were in the Army. I was in the Air Force. I carried an M9, but it wasn't accessorized, and I had no training in how to use it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
almost done. It's embarrassing, but I've never had any training in when or how to use a tactical light on a pistol.
yeah, that's really important that you know because
Yeah.
when I worked for Palmetto State Armory, a lot of people would ask that question. Like, I always feel like I shoot better if I have a laser on my pistol.
Yeah.
And we would explain that that's great when you're target shooting, but you got to remember if you have a laser on your handgun and you're engaging, opposing force or someone that's just trying to do you harm, you turn that laser on, you just made yourself a target. They can see exactly where that laser comes from, so they might aim for the laser immediately. So be aware of that. And then some people kind of they were put off by it, but I get it's useful. But at night, if you're waking up and you grab your bedside pistol or you're pulling something out, it's better to have a light and identify your target than just shooting in the dark. So that case, I definitely agree. Laser maybe not as much, but the light's definitely a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've had some issues with, like at night I hear a bump. Do I want to actually aim a pistol as I'm exploring the house to see what the bump was?
Right, right.
Yeah, I kind of like having a separate light for
That
that.
too.
But
And again, it comes with training and experience to have a
yeah,
light in one hand, a pistol in the other.
uh-huh,
Sometimes you have the option and they have different settings. It's
uh-huh.
knowing the equipment that you have and being trained to be familiar with it and know how to use it in that situation, for sure.
Yeah. But as far as Olight versus Streamlight, yeah, I'd really love to say Streamlight's, head and shoulders above Olight in quality and features and everything. And honestly, I've had limited experience with Olight, but a really good product there and great experience with Streamlight. I'm not sure that someone's really going to go wrong with either one of them.
No, probably
Um,
not.
yeah, to be fair, even though I don't want to like Olight, it kind of hard not to. And yeah, their sales, the way they do this with the social media people, it's like you
All
you
right.
can tell when they reach out to someone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because they start blasting, use this coupon code, and
Tell
you get
your
a
friends.
discount on Olight. Yeah, it's like, wow, all right.
Track down your cousins you've never seen and tell them about it. And
yeah, and they've given us codes, they've offered us codes, and we'll share them. I just try not to get too overboard with it. I want people, if they're looking for an Olight product, to be able to find the code, but I don't necessarily want to,
oh yeah,
hey, because they've given us a code, we're going to push this on you. I like to be more organic in that stuff. Olight keychain light. Yeah, that's kind of what they sent me. It's like a little keychain light, tiny little thing. And unfortunately, I don't have it in my pockets right now. It's in my other pants. So, because I have 2 pair of pants, right?
mm-hmm. You should.
At least 2 pair of pants. Yeah. All right. Well, good questions. Good discussion. We've hit our 50 minutes. My son has not called back. Oh, or has he? Um, all right. So I checked the messages, and my wife went to get my son, so I don't have to freak out. He doesn't have to freak out, at least. Poor guy. She knew I was on the broadcast. I'm going to blame her for this because she's not here and she's driving, so I know she's not listening. So I'm safe, right? I can blame my wife with no repercussions.
Except for this is recorded, and she can always watch it.
Like she watches anything I do. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably pretty safe here. But anyhow, I think unless anyone else has something they want to talk about, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I'll say if anyone has any more ideas on, if you think of any gun companies down there in Florida or any brands that you would like to see an interview or more information on, certainly shoot us a note. Leave a comment here in the YouTube comments, or we've got a contact form on the Gear Report site where you can send a message, or I'm easy to find. You can type, what would be a good email address for someone to send in? Who should we interview? We'll call it interview now at Gear-Report.com. That's what we'll call it. Send something to interview now. All right. I kind of feel like that way you're telling us, interview them now. I want to empower people. Yes. Do it now. Yeah. So anyhow, that'd be a good email address to send to, and we'll see if we can set up an interview. I've enjoyed when Clover and Ghost do those kind of interviews, so maybe we can get some of those going as well. All right. Any parting thoughts? Anything you have coming up that you want to talk about before we depart?
I'm just looking forward to probably going back to the same range that I went to that's close by. I'm looking forward to getting out there and just doing some plinking and getting back into shooting my my handguns a little bit. It's been a while, but other than that, not a lot going on.
Yeah, excellent. Well, be safe, have fun. Everyone out there, please be safe, and have a great weekend and great week next week. Thank you so much for spending a little time with us on a Friday evening. We're going to have a whole bunch of content coming as soon as I get an hour or 3 to go through those pending articles and get them queued up to publish. You know what? Maybe I'm going to be in the car most of the day tomorrow. Maybe I can convince the missus, if she didn't hear that I was blaming her for stuff here on the show tonight, maybe I can get her to drive a bit and let me edit and get some things scheduled for this week. That would be pretty good. All right. Thank you, Buck. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And,
Thank you.
Nighthawk, always interesting and informative. Mitch, I'm going to thank you for that. I think I'm here to provide sarcasm, and interesting and informative has got to be the guest. Have a great weekend, everyone. I agree. And with that, I think I'm going to say we'll see you at the range.
Later.